Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to Our Charmed Midlife. I'm Dhani.
And I'm John.
And welcome. We're back. We are
back and better than ever.
Yeah.
I think I am anyway.
We're doing this at a weird time for us. So we're going to try and get our energy going. But it's not a natural time for us to have energy. So we're going to try.
I only have energy for like 15 minutes, 3 days a week between 8 and 8:15.
Yeah, it's very hard to catch up.
So I apologize in advance.
So this week, well, our podcast is about our charmed moments, which is theme parks, our midlife moments, which is anything we do in our old age. And then we talk about TV and movies that we've watched.
Our middle age.
It feels like old.
Certainly today it does.
Yeah. So if you like that, please stick around. This week we have many more TV and movies to talk about than anything else.
Right.
So it's going to be mostly a review podcast this week.
Okay.
All right. So we always start off with everyone's favorite, John's Joke Corner.
Yeah, and we talked about me reviewing these with you in advance, but we didn't.
We did not. So
here
we go.
It's all on me, folks. She had nothing to do with these, so don't hold it against her. Hey, did you hear about the guy who got hit by the same bike every morning?
No, I did not. I don't know how to respond to that.
It was a vicious cycle. Oh, okay.
Okay.
What's a sea monster's favorite meal?
I don't know.
Fish and chips.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Is that rim shot? Is that good?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It is what it is.
Because you smile and you were like, and then you gave me that, and I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't fit.
It can be good and bad.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go with good.
Okay.
What do you get when you drop a piano down a mine shaft?
I don't know.
A flat minor.
A flat minor. Oh, a flat minor. Oh, see? That one.
Oh, sneaky.
I'm not expecting things to be so layered.
Oh, so cerebral.
Yes. Wow. Okay. All right.
Ah, nuts. I should have saved that one for last.
Okay.
All right, just two more. Hey, what did the cop say to his belly button?
I don't know. This is a funny visual. I'm sorry.
You're under a vest.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, and I had a hard time getting through this when I practiced.
Oh, no.
So
he practiced you?
I did on this one. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Okay. So I apologize. What's the difference between how you treat the bird flu and how you treat swine flu?
I don't know.
What? One requires.
Oh no.
One requires a tweetment, and the other needs an ointment.
That's so stupid.
I know.
That is so stupid. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Well, that's stupid, but I will remember that one.
Stupid but memorable.
Yes.
Okay.
So thank you for ending on that.
Well, okay. Turns out the last. It's over.
Oh gosh. All right. Let's move on to charmed moments.
Please.
All right. So this week we did not do anything theme park related or Disney related as far as leaving the house. But I did want to talk about that we booked a cruise.
Well, yeah. We did leave the house, but not
it
for
wasn't
Disney related stuff.
So
cruise.
Yeah.
Woohoo! I'm excited.
We had been talking to my parents about something to do around the holiday time. And, we were looking at a bunch of other cruises and cruise lines. And I just can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah, it's
So somehow we convinced them to book a Disney cruise. We're not gone on Christmas, but right after. We're going to be on the Disney Fantasy ship, which we have not been on before. So this is marking down a fourth ship for us.
Yep.
They have never been on a Disney cruise, so this is going to be very interesting for them. And the other thing I thought of, because my cousin asked a funny question and it made me think of this. I have not been on vacation with my parents in 35 years.
Since New York?
Well, that was 7th grade. No. I'm sure a couple years after that.
Okay.
Not in high school, at least, because that's when we moved. But so that's going to be interesting.
That is going to be
because
interesting.
we haven't vacationed together in so long, and we vacation very differently than my parents do. So it is going to be interesting, but it is just a 3-day cruise. I think it's a good intro for them for a Disney cruise, and it gets us away so that we aren't. The last 2 years since we moved to Florida, my parents moved down here right after us. Christmas is just kind of like we sit around and stare at each other. So we wanted to be able to have something fun to do.
Now we can do it over Mickey waffles. Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was exciting. So we now have a Virgin cruise in October, a Disney cruise in December, and then the Disney Treasure in February, which is for our 15th anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, 15 years already.
Already. It's flown by.
It has. It's gone. It's been so enjoyable. It's gone so fast.
Aww. So that's our Disney news for the week.
Yep. Okay.
Let's move on to our midlife moments.
Okay.
So this week we did only go out once, and it was on Thursday afternoon. We went to go see Twisters.
Oh, yes.
This was almost against your will. So when the movie first came out with the trailers, he was very angry about it.
I was very angry with him.
Yeah.
Very well, don't I? I'll say it again. I was very angry with him. Hello, my...
And because he loves the original. So do I. Just watched it yesterday.
For a long time, it was in my amongst the conversation of favorite movies.
Yes.
Ever. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we couldn't tell from the first trailers if this was related at all to the first one, if it was a sequel, if it was just a remake, all of that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And so we said we weren't going to go see it. And then in the last few weeks, I just kept watching so much press and everything. And I was like, let's just go. Let's just go see it. Mm-hmm. So we did. We're not going to talk about the movie right now. We're going to talk about that in the What Are We Watching section.
Aww.
But we got out, which was nice. And then across the street are some of our favorite restaurants. So afterwards, we went across the street to Lazy Dog. Yes, we have no footage of this because we suck and we're getting used to it. But we went to Lazy Dog afterwards, had a really nice dinner.
Yeah.
It was a very strange evening out for us in the middle of the week. We don't normally do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it was nice.
Yeah, it was. I apologize. I had 2 jobs to do. One was to see Twisters make it through, and I did. The other was to get footage of Lazy Dog, which I completely fell down on. So I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. We live without it.
Not much of a vlog.
But just to talk about Lazy Dog a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if the chain started in California, but we had one in California that we loved and went all the time, ordered all the time.
Yeah.
And this one just opened up here last summer.
Yeah, well, I think later than that. I think it's been
maybe 6 months or something.
Yeah, 6 or 8 months.
So we were so thrilled when it opened up here. And I always get the Tex-Mex salad. It is so good. It is huge and it is cold and it's just wonderful. And I always get also the Cajun fries. It has so much whatever the seasoning is on it.
yeah.
It's so good.
So many Cajuns on it.
And there's a bunch. I mean, their
Yeah,
menu is huge. If you haven't gone or been, they have a huge menu. And this one is, 10 minutes outside of the parks?
Yeah.
So if you do have a car and you're looking for something that's it is a chain, but it's really good food.
Yeah.
Huge bar, huge drink selection. And they're dog friendly. So
Very dog
their
friendly.
outdoor section.
Yeah. You see
People
dogs there
bring
all
their
the time.
dogs because they actually have food on the menu for their dogs. We used to order food delivery from Lazy Dog, and we would get food for our dogs. They have like rice with peas and carrots, and then you could get chicken, or you could get a hamburger patty or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, Roxy loved those.
Yeah, she did. Good times.
Good times, yeah. So Lazy Dog, it's really good, super yummy. Definitely check it out if you're here, or if you have one near you and you haven't, definitely check it out.
Yeah, so I'm gluten privileged, so I there's quite a bit of the menu. It's an extensive menu, and I can try a lot of stuff, and I'm making a conscious effort to try a lot of stuff. My favorite is a campfire pot roast, which is really good, but I'm trying to try different things, and most of their stuff has been really good.
Chicken pot pie.
Chicken pot
Oh,
pie.
and they have frozen meals, TV dinners.
Yep.
That are freshly made there. They flash freeze them for $10 a piece, $9 a piece, and they're huge portions. And you can buy them and bring them home, put them in your freezer, and then you cook them.
You can get 6 for $50.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So they're like $10 a piece, or
$9-ish.
$7.70 or whatever it works out to.
That's Lazy Dog.
Yep, good stuff. Approved.
Yes. Okay. So now we'll get to the big stuff.
Oh my!
What are you watching?
We have big stuff. Oh, what? I don't even know.
You just witnessed panic.
Yep. I should
Okay.
do that emotion on Inside Out.
So anyway.
Yeah.
What are we watching?
What are you watching?
What are we watching?
What are we watching? What are we watching?
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Okay. So the first movie we're going to talk about, obviously, is Twisters. You just mimicked the movie.
Yeah, I was trying to do that.
Oh, okay. So, professional stuff out of the way. It's PG-13. It stars Glenn Powell, Daisy Edgar-Jones, Anthony Ramos, and the write-up on IMDb reads as follows, vis-a-vis the following.
Vis-a-vis.
A retired tornado chaser and meteorologist is persuaded to return to Oklahoma to work with a new team and new technologies. That's it. I will say, I don't know if anyone's seen on TikTok or anything, people who have gone to see this in 4DK, where the seats move and they blow smoke and they blow water and, all that sort of stuff. It looks like that would have been a lot of fun.
It's very immersive.
Very
Literally.
immersive. Would have been a lot of fun. But we were just in recliners, so that wasn't entirely...
But they were really comfortable.
They were.
Studio Movie Grill.
So, let's go with ratings first. What do you rate it?
I've been all over the place on this, and what I've settled on is a 7.
Okay. I'm giving it a 5. So, we normally do not talk about the movies before we get on here, but this one we did, and I'm glad we did because we talked about it for quite a long time, and I want to shrink that down into our...
Yeah, we won't bore you with the 35 minutes that we went on.
Right.
Yeah.
So, why don't you tell us your 7? Give it a good explanation.
Okay, so the 7 is high. I was thinking 5 or 6 because I thought you were going to be a 7, and I don't know why it's important to me to match it. It's weird. So
be your own person.
Can I? That's a little funny.
Yeah, hysterical people.
Jokes? I got them.
Oh, yeah. Where was that in your joke corner?
I don't think that was funny enough.
Funny.
That's great. Go ahead, make your jokes, Mr. Jokey. Joke maker.
I didn't mind it. So the action is good. The effects are really good. The story kind of thin for having almost 30 years to think about it. The story disappointed me. I fully expected it to be for. So it was not a shot for shot from the original, but it was very reminiscent of the original, except I was expecting the girl, Daisy Edgar Jones, to be some relation to Helen Hunt.
Right.
And apparently she was not. It was never talked about. It was never mentioned, so she wasn't. But which was a little disappointing, I think. So I like Anthony Ramos. I've really gotten to like Glenn Powell. There's something about the guy.
There's a charisma there that you just can't deny.
It just oozes out of every pore of that guy.
But I'm glad he never had his shirt off because, I don't want him to be one of those guys where it's like every time he's in a movie, you got to take your shirt off, So.
And I saw Steven Spielberg put it out that they did cut a kiss.
Oh, good.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, there's no romance in this. So.
Well, there's hinting at romance, but there's no actual affection shown. Which really would have been a little bit weird and distracting.
Yes.
So anyway, I'm going to say I liked parts of it. Might be a little bit of an overstatement. No, I did like parts of it. But I really just did not like her in that role. There wasn't really much about her performance that I liked.
Okay.
Actually, I can't think of anything that I liked. And I know that sounds harsh, but I don't think she was right for that role.
Okay, so
Sorry.
I gave it a 5 because my main thing was, first off, it's not a sequel. It is a remake because there is no connection to the original. So my first thought is, why do it? The first still stands up. I didn't see any effects in this movie that were better than the one from the 90s, which is also crazy. Everyone kept going, oh, wait until you see this. It makes Oklahoma look so beautiful. Well, I watched the original yesterday. There were better shots of wherever they filmed that in the original than there were in this one.
Yeah, totally.
There was much more emotion in some spots than... And again, I disagree with him on Daisy Edgar Jones and her character. I felt like her character was doing exactly what she should be doing for the tragedy that happens in the beginning, which of course that makes sense. They followed the pattern of the original very, very closely. Changed a few things here and there. Felt a little reversey here and there. But for the most part, it's just like last week when I was talking about Beverly Hills Cop. Why? Why did anyone feel the need to have to make this? He made it on film. I feel like there was way more CGI than in the original where there was a lot of practicals. I don't know. I didn't need this. People are coming out of this loving it. It came out number 1 this weekend.
Yeah.
And look, when it's on the movie channels, I can't say I won't stop and watch it in pieces. Probably because of Glenn Powell, so I will watch it. It's just, my main thing is just why did we feel like we had to remake this? I would have loved a continuation story. I would have loved, Helen Hunt being able to take her place and have a kid there with her, and maybe Dorothy had taken off, and so they had moved on to some kind of science from that. This was trying to do almost the exact same science, and then it felt like a very incredulous science thing that they kind of moved on to. So, but again, what do I know? So that's my take. That's why I gave it a 5. Yeah. I don't feel like it was a necessary make, but that's me.
I agree. I have nothing to add.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, 7.
I revise it down.
You can't do that.
Fine. We need to talk.
You gotta stick. No, you just gotta stick to your guns.
Can I?
He's looking. Okay. So now I have a ton of things to talk about that he didn't see. So I am going to condense these things very quickly to my rating, the descriptions of them, and a little bit about why I gave it that, just so we don't all fall asleep.
Is this where I power down? Or should I sit over here and
this is, you do that.
Yeah?
Ask some
Okay.
questions if you can.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, you want me
Be involved.
engaged? Oh, all right.
Engage mode.
Well, hello.
All right. The first
Go ahead.
the first movie I'm going to talk about is I.S.S. This, I remember seeing the trailer. The trailer looked good a while ago. It was on one of the movie channels, so I decided to watch it. It's rated R. It stars Ariana DeBose, Chris Messina, and John Gallagher Jr., who we love.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Friend of the show.
The write-up of this one is tensions flare in the near future aboard the International Space Station as a conflict breaks out on Earth. Reeling, the U.S. and Russian astronauts receive orders from the ground. Take control of the station by any means necessary. So, I'm giving this one a 5 as well. This one I will not be watching again.
Oh, no.
This one I will not stop when I see it on there. Now, love the people in it. I thought when I saw the trailer, I don't know if you remember, I was like, what a good idea. You know, there's like 3 Americans, 3 Russians on board. They see the Earth light up. And then, it's kind of like, now you can't trust the people that you're on this, very confined place with. They didn't do a good job of making it tension. The tension wasn't big enough. The whole thing wasn't big enough. It was kind of boring. So, it was unfortunate because I was looking forward to it, and it did not hit.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So the next movie I'm going to talk about is on Disney Plus, and this was The Descendants: The Rise of Red. This is the 4th Descendants movie, starring Kylie Cantrell, Malia Baker, Rita Ora is in it as well. She plays the Queen of Hearts. She's awesome. Anyway, let me see what this write-up is.
Rita Ora is one of the older people in the movie?
Yeah. So this write-up follows Red, daughter of the Queen of Hearts, and Chloe, daughter of Cinderella, as they team up to save Auradon by traveling back in time using the White Rabbit's pocket watch to stop an event that would cause grave consequences.
Whoa.
So I love the Descendants movies. I love the idea of all of the characters, children coming together. I loved the first 3 entirely. This one starts it off in a very nostalgic way where Uma remembers Carlos, and I'm going to crap out on his name, Cameron.
Yeah.
Who passed away.
Yeah.
I was bawling. Like 5 minutes in, they had to make this very memorable moment, and so they had me. Now, this one, none of the original Descendants are in it except for Uma. She's now taken over Auradon Prep, and there's this stuff with Queen of Hearts and Cinderella, and they brought back Brandy as Cinderella and Pablo Montalban as Prince Charming, who were in the Whitney Houston version of Cinderella, which is my favorite version of Cinderella. So that was awesome. I was so happy to see them. But anyway, so Disney just does these right. I mean, it's all of their stuff. It's all of their IP. They come up with cool things. Seeing all the kids being young and whatever. And the music was good in this one. I love the music in all of these. This one was good too. So I really enjoyed this one. So I gave it a 9.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with these Disney musicals. I'm gonna give it that.
It sounds like you're rather fond of them.
I am.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is good. That's what they're there for.
Even we'll be going around the parks, like Oogie Boogie Bash or something like that, and they're playing music from the original any of the 3 Descendants, and he'll be like, "This is a good song. This is a good song," and I'm always like, "It's from the Descendants."
That music slaps.
Oh no!
Huh?
I'm gonna slap you.
Old man faux pas.
So moving on. Next movie I'm going to talk about is a Netflix movie called Find Me Falling with Harry Connick Jr. This write-up is, after a failed comeback album, rock star John Allman escapes to a dreamy Mediterranean island only to discover that his new cliffside home has an unfortunate notoriety that attracts unwanted visitors and an old flame. That write-up is weird. So I'm giving this one a 6. It's more of a romance than a romantic comedy. But he does so he's on the island of Cyprus. He buys this home where people like come to jump off the cliff.
Oh, whoops.
But he's also come to Cyprus because his former love lives there and they run into each other again and all this. So it's 2 different stories and it didn't make any sense. And like, you'd think the thing about the cliff would have some kind of
comedic value.
No,
why is it
some sort of impression on the rest of the story, but it doesn't. It's like you would think even metaphorically or something, it would have some effect, and it didn't. It was just these 2 separate things that seemed to be happening, and it was weird. And the rest of the story is very predictable. He was awesome. He sings in it, which was great, and I loved hearing him. Didn't like his hair in it, but that's okay. We'll get past it. But yeah, I gave it a 6. It's on Netflix, so probably not going to be rewatching it much because it takes a lot of effort to do that. But for people who love him or really just like romance movies, I would say definitely watch it. It was a little slow and, not what I was wanting it to be. So, yeah. Yeah?
I don't know. I'm stuck on the people throwing themselves off a cliff as part of a romantic comedy.
I didn't say it was a romantic comedy. I said it was a romance.
You said it was a romance. It's listed as a romantic comedy.
Who says?
You did.
No, I didn't.
Oh, sorry.
Listen to your wife, asshole.
Final movie I'm going to talk about is called Young Woman in the Sea. This is also on Disney Plus.
Yep.
Starring Daisy Ridley. This is PG, and it's the story. She plays Trudy Ederle, who is the first woman to ever cross the English Channel swimming. In 1926, she did this. I'm giving it an 8.
Oh my.
This was really good. It is a little long, but it's a really good story. Now, of course, I'm pausing during the whole thing, and I'm looking up the real story, and they took some liberties to make it seem like it's here's the thing that drives me crazy about these true stories. Like, someone does something incredible. This woman did something incredible. She first tried to cross a year before this and was somewhat sabotaged anyway, and then she went back and she trained again, and then she goes back a year later. They try to make it look like she did it like a week later, and it's like, it's a big enough deal that she did it when she did it. She beat, only men had crossed before that. She beat their times by like 2 hours. So it doesn't matter when she did it. Like, I don't know why they had to make it seem like she was just like, oh, I failed. Let me get back up and do it right now. But anyway, there were some memories of the Diane Nyad movie that came out, but so different too, because this was in the 20s. Like, people just kind of woke up in the morning and was like, I think today I'll go. Whereas, like, she had, tools and electronics to show, can you go today? Can you go? What are the temperatures? What is this? What is that? This woman had none of that, like, they didn't, the reporters that were following in a paddle boat would write down, like, she's at mile 6. They'd roll it into a bottle, toss it to another boat who had homing pigeons on the boat, and they would attach that to the homing pigeon who would take it to, like, the radio station so that they could report where she was.
Like the original.
This is how far back this was.
Those are like the original tweets.
Yes, you were trying so hard. What?
Where's my...
Oh, well, no.
Thank you.
Oh, my gosh. Begging.
Well...
Thirsty much?
Hey, I'm working over here. I gotta get rewarded.
Anyway, it's an incredible story about an incredible woman who had measles when she was little, so she wasn't even supposed to swim because you can go deaf. And she did go deaf. And then she spent the rest of her life teaching deaf children how to swim. She lived to be 98. I mean, incredible story. I was bawling at the end of it. I mean, it's just an incredible story.
Maybe that's why I don't like to swim. I had measles when I was a kid.
You did?
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. It's not about liking to swim, though. But anyway. Okay, anyway, that's Young Woman in the Sea on Disney Plus. I recommend it. I thought it was really, really good.
Okay.
So I'm going to switch to TV shows now. I watched Sausage Party Foodtopia. The entire season is on Prime. It's 8 episodes. I'm giving the whole season a 7. If you saw the movie Sausage Party, the whole movie was them trying to escape from the grocery store, and they do that at the end. This now starts from that point where they've escaped the grocery store, they've killed all the humans, and they now need to create their foodtopia and their own society of food. And look, it gets to be a little long in the tooth by the 8th episode because they have so many puns and all of that, but they're hysterical. And some of these, like the puns, the names of the people, the names of the songs that they sing, I don't know how they come up with this stuff. It is also very politically based to what we are going through in our society, which kind of made it funnier. Seth Rogen's back, Kristen Wiig is back, Michael Cera is taking the place of Jonah Hill. It's very funny. It's also very R-rated, just like the movie was. Very, very. And even one episode starts with a warning saying, Prime Video told us we had to warn you that there is a very explicit scene. And there was. And I can't believe they got away with it.
Oh, my. Oh, boy.
So, yeah, I'm giving that a 7. If you liked the movie, you'll enjoy this. If you didn't like the movie, you have no idea what I'm talking about, obviously do not go watch it. You will be shocked in the very first episode.
Okay.
Next series I'm going to talk about is really just a docuseries. It was only 2 episodes on Netflix. It's called Simone Biles Rising. This is obviously about Simone Biles. This starts with her in Tokyo when she got the twisties when she was, she had to drop out of the Olympics. And it follows her through the last 4 months before she qualifies for the Olympics here. Kind of what she went through to rehab herself, her brain, her body, how she's feeling now, and everything that she had to go through. So it was really, really good couple of episodes. It was really good. I really liked seeing her family. I liked seeing her husband with her. I liked her talking about everything that she's gone through. Really good.
I guess it just hit me that was 4 years ago then.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And to come back from that, is insane. It took her a long time.
Well, she's old for a gymnast, right?
She's 27, I think, going into this. 27 or 28.
Yeah.
So that's on Netflix. I gave that a 9. Really good. The only reason it's a 9 and not a 10 is because I actually wanted more.
That's good.
I think they could have given me more in like 4 episodes and just gone a little deeper, but that's okay. I can deal with it.
I bet they'll have something after the Olympics. So
Maybe.
They'll have that time period from the end of that until she's won 48 golds.
I think she's already at like 30 something. So.
Oh, I meant 48 just in this Olympics. Yeah.
For swimming, for archery.
Yeah. Look, I don't put anything past her.
Yeah. And the last show I'm going to talk about is Cobra Kai. It came back for its, was it the 6th season? I don't even know. Actually, only 5 episodes have come back. We then have, I think, 5 more in November, and then the final ones next year. I'm giving just these 5 episodes a 6. I think it should have ended last season. I think it ended really well. We could have dealt with that. And I'm a Cobra Kai original. Like, this show started, if people don't remember, this show started on YouTube Red. And I went and subscribed to YouTube Red the day it came out, and I watched the entire season in one day. The second season did the same thing. It was still on YouTube. all these Johnny come latelys. By the time it got to Netflix, they're like, "Oh, look at this show." No, I was loving it. I get very like upset about it. Like the Schitt's Creek people. I'm like, did you watch it on Pop? Because I watched it on Pop.
You are very territorial with your shows. It's funny. It's funny what's important to you.
Well, because I don't go back and watch shows. If I missed it, I missed it. And like people who like go back after like, oh, I heard good things. I'm like, yeah, well, I already knew.
You know how many good shows you're probably missing out on by just holding
I know
firm to that?
But I do that with movies too. If I miss it, I miss it. Like it's really hard for me to go back and watch anything.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm giving it a 6. I think that, I mean, I know the season will be fine and it'll end well. It's just it's kind of every season has been the same thing, right? Like, you know, Johnny and Daniel, they bicker and then they get together and then they bicker some more and then the kids fight and the kids get together and then they fight. Like, it's the same thing over and over again. Yeah. And this season is continuing to be that same thing. I'll continue to watch it, but I wish they had ended it last season.
It's martial arts with kids. I mean, it's not international politics. There's only so many things you can do.
Well, it was so good in the beginning because of the nostalgia of the movie, which was one of my favorite movies as a kid. So all of that nostalgia was wonderful, and they're still doing it. It's just, Well, plus we had to wait so long for this to come, and now we got to wait so long for the whole season to end.
Yeah,
that's just annoying.
All of those have their limits. I mean, you can get away with that for only so long, and at some point the story has to take over, and if it's limited in scope, then there's only so much you can do.
Yes.
That was my TED Talk.
Freak? Are you hosting a Telethon we don't know about?
Who's Emily Dickinson?
So I'm giving that a 6. It's on Netflix. It is a good series. So if you have not watched it, and you are one of those people that likes to go back and watch, it is good. If you liked the Karate Kid movies, if you didn't watch them, then
if you're able to do that,
you would have no idea. Yeah,
you'll be fine.
Do that whole sort of thing. The last thing I just wanted to talk about before we get into the Actors Corner is, oh, thunder.
Oh, is that what that is?
I hear thunder on the mountain.
I didn't know where that came from.
Okay, serious note.
Oh, sorry.
Is we've lost a lot of actors in the last few weeks. And I just wanted to...
I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. I won't make any jokes because I was going to ask what we did with them.
Shelley Duvall, Bob Newhart, Richard Simmons, Dr. Ruth, Martin Mull, Donald Sutherland, and finally Shannon Doherty. Shannon Doherty really struck me. 90210 was my personality, basically. I mean, for at least 4 years, if not the whole run of the show. And that really struck me. I was really, I was a mess kind of when I heard about her. Yeah. So anyway, there's just been a lot of people that we've been losing and they all have such, amazing lives and they've done so much stuff that it's, it's so sad. I swear, I was telling him, I was like, every time I went online, there was someone new and there was someone new. And it's just like, come on.
She'd be in the other room and you'd be like, oh no. Yeah. And I'm like, who died now?
Yeah. Like the Bob Newhart one was tough too.
I mean, Bob Newhart's one of my all-time comedic people.
Yeah.
And that was a tough one.
I always quote Kevin Smith when he talks about these people. He always says, big bucket of win.
Yeah.
And all of these people have had huge big buckets of win. They really brought a lot to our lives. So I just want to talk about that.
Props to Kevin Smith.
Yes.
Another friend of the show.
I wish. Well, we were on his show.
Yeah, we were.
If anyone remembers his show Spoilers, we were in the audience 1 year. I was on my birthday 1 year.
It was, yeah.
Anyway.
Good times.
Good times.
Now I just do that to get you.
I know.
Okay.
So now we're going to go to the Actors Corner.
Who were we supposed to do? Oh.
Hugh Jackman? Are you being serious?
No.
Oh. So, I normally pull from the week's viewings to choose someone for the Actors Corner, but I thought this week we're gearing up for Deadpool and Wolverine. I just actually watched the original Deadpool right before I came out here. It happened to be on, and so I was like, cool. I love those movies. So excited. We're going Friday afternoon. So I thought next week it makes sense to do Ryan Reynolds in the actor studio. Why don't we get ahead of ourselves, and this week we'll do Hugh Jackman in this week's actor studio
Corner.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Studio corner.
Yeah.
We don't take up the whole thing. We just take up a corner.
Yes. Okay. So I wasn't listening. I have no idea
You know
what you
what?
said.
That's fair.
No one ever listens to me. When the package is this pretty, no one cares what's inside.
That's fair.
Okay. Hugh Jackman, something you
Yes.
love.
The Greatest Showman.
That's what I chose.
I knew you would, but I went through his IMDb.
I didn't know I was going to choose that. This was
Yes.
actually somewhat difficult. Actually, it was pretty difficult. But
Okay, I know what it was a choice. We'll get to that.
okay. Greatest Showman. Obviously, I went the day it opened. I think I took you back the next day
Yes.
because I was like, "You have to come see this." So good. I wish Jeremy Jordan was in it instead, but that's okay.
She got home. She came running in. She's like, "We gotta come here. We gotta go. We
And
gotta go."
I remember I got to my car and I went and downloaded the soundtrack. I was just like, "Oh my god, I have to listen
Yeah.
to this and listen to it on the way home." And then, said then we got to go back. So we have to go back, Jack.
Okay.
Okay, something you like.
Real Steel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have Real Steel and something I secretly love.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what's interesting, Sean Levy, who's directing Deadpool and Wolverine,
Yep.
directed Real Steel. If you haven't seen that movie, I know it sounds ridiculous, where it's like the robot boxers and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, the premise is.
It's
crazy.
ridiculous, but it is so well
Such
done.
a good movie.
Ball my eyes out every single time, no
Yeah.
matter what. I mean, the little kid is so great. Hugh's great. It's just, yeah. I mean, that's what Sean Levy does well, though, is these original stories, and they probably begged him to do a sequel to that. And I'm so glad there hasn't been, just leave it alone. Such a good movie.
I would enjoy a sequel to that.
Oh, come on.
What was the robot's name?
Adam.
Adam. That's right. Definitely a character in the movie.
Oh, my God. Love
Yeah.
that. Love that Adam.
Love that robot.
Under my though, I have The Prestige.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
It's so smart. It's so clever. You don't really know what's going on. You got to follow it. It's a classic as far as I'm concerned. So that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a thinking person's movie.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
That's why I haven't seen it.
Oh goodness, we'll get to that. Okay, something you hate.
I don't have anything.
Oh, okay. This one was a weird hate thing. So, does anyone remember the TV show he did, Viva Laughlin? It was a musical TV show. This was before Glee. This was, it was. Here's the problem. The show wasn't great in the premise, but it was a musical, so of course I watched it. Here's what they did wrong. They they sang regular songs,
Okay.
like, pop music or whatever, and they would play the actual song, like with the vocals, and then the actor would sing with that. So you couldn't really hear the actor sing independently. It was just on top of the track. It was so weird. I don't know if they were like, maybe we'll try this. So weird, so bad. So I couldn't even enjoy it really, but I wish he had done a musical television show. That would have been fun.
How many episodes?
Oh God, I'd be surprised if 5 aired. Honestly, I don't know.
So that's your hate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense then.
All right, and Secretly Love. I already said Real Steel.
Kate and Leopold.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a classic.
Yeah.
Classic. Now, my one that I wanted to fit in some here was Someone Like You
Yeah.
with Ashley Judd. That's one of my top movies, and that was really hard to not have in here. But what are you gonna do? Embarrassed you for anything you haven't seen? Someone
Like You.
You haven't seen Someone Like You?
No, I just saw it today for the first time, and I was like, Greg Kinnear and Ashley Judd. That's got to be good.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay.
Oh well, I know what we're doing.
Probably in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, I have nothing. Are you adding anything to your watch list?
Logan.
Oh, we should watch that before Friday.
Probably.
You haven't seen Logan?
So I know what we're doing in 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Oh, goodness gracious. Logan's close to 3 hours long, I think.
Nope.
When I was watching the original Deadpool, I was like, I wonder when the last time was you saw either of the two. And you should probably watch that.
It was just on, and we watched a big portion of it on like one of the TNT or TBS or something like that.
Yeah, it's not as good if you watch it.
I know, but you know.
Okay.
Anyway,
I have nothing I'm adding to my watch list either, so that's pretty simple.
wow.
Yeah, I mean,
You've seen it all.
Well, he's got some really good ones, and again, it was really tough to narrow that down. But I think I'm hoping, and I guess I don't want my hopes to be too high, but I'm hoping that Deadpool Wolverine is going to go into one of these slots.
Oh, I'm calling it now. I'm calling it. There's no way Ryan Reynolds is going to let you down. There's just no way. Not to have.
We'll
no,
see.
He's too good.
It's hard.
Just
watching the first one, and I've watched the second one way more. I watched the second one a lot. I don't know how you top it, but I know he will. I have faith. It's just, I'm very excited. I've watched all of the first three original X-Men last weekend. I watched now First Class and Days of Future Past, which I watch those all the time, so I didn't need to. But they have a list out of what you're supposed to watch. All the others I watch pretty consistently, so it was really just the first three X-Men I knew I needed to go back and watch.
And I haven't, so we'll see how that goes. But with Sean Levy as the director and now having Hugh as his wingman, there's no way this movie is going to disappoint you. You're going to love it. It's going to be at least one of your top two.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Calling it now.
Yeah. So that's everything for this week. Obviously, this week we're looking forward to Deadpool and Wolverine. So we are going to be recording another one of these this weekend. We will have it out hopefully by Monday.
Might have a Disney Springs trip.
Yes, we definitely will. Well, John's birthday is this weekend too. So we are going to breakfast at Fort Wilderness, and we've got some other stuff planned. So yeah, we're going to have a lot on the next one to talk about for sure.
Frontera.
Oh, really?
How dare you?
Oh, no. Okay. Anyway, tune in next week and you'll be able to catch all of that.
Yep.
Thank you guys for stopping by. Please like this video and subscribe. That just helps to grow our channel. And we will see you next week. Thanks so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.